Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the Real Talk Anime Podcast. You're joined by your regular hosts. I'm Link, or Anise. We got Brooke, aka Cooper.
Hello.
And we got Corbett, aka Carter.
Hello.
That was the weirdest hello
Yeah.
I've ever given. Hello.
Hello.
I was having a sip, so.
Yeah. And today's topic is a big one. Today we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan.
Titanic one,
Okay,
so to speak.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Titanic topic. Attack on
know.
Titan. So,
As in, it's literally gonna crash into an iceberg and the conversation's gonna die. So,
yeah.
but
So,
no.
just as a warning, spoilers. This is a spoiler warning. In like 10
Spoilers
seconds, we're
up
going
to
be...
the most recent episode, not the manga, because we haven't read it. So.
None of us are reading the manga. The most recent episode, I believe, is episode 7.
Maybe?
But either way, if you don't want Attack on Titan, if you have not watched more than the the most recent season, just don't listen to this. Sadly, I know we want
go
you to
watch something
listen.
else.
Yeah, go watch something else, dude. There's probably another podcast out there.
Or maybe we'll have like a timestamp
No,
depending
go
on how
watch
much we
Attack on
talk
Titan
about.
because
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
you
or
have
just
to
go
do.
watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah, or just do that
and then
instead.
come back and watch our podcast.
Yeah. Okay, I think Cooper gets the marketing part of this a bit better than I do.
Because believe me, you're gonna want to watch people talk about this when you experience that. Because
Yeah.
holy shit!
You're gonna want someone to talk to, but you'll just have to listen to us instead.
So yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, somehow if you've been living under a rock, Attack on Titan is finally getting its final season. The first part is airing right now, and this time instead of Wit Studio, it's Mappa that's doing this last season. And so I guess one place we could start talking about is just like, what do you guys
The
think about?
drama.
Yeah, what do you guys think about? Well, first of all, how good of a job are they doing so far? And then also, there's a lot of drama with people hating on Mappa for being dog and just bad and not doing
No
series
PR.
justice and whatever. Yeah, no PR. So I wonder what you guys think about that too.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Okay, I'll let Carter go first on this one.
Okay. So, personally, I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. Now, it's been a while since I watched season 3,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say that the change of studio has really like decreased my enjoyment of the series. Like, sure, when the CGI happens, it's kind of noticeable because it's like
Yeah.
every Titan fight,
yeah.
but actually, I don't mind
not
it as
even just-
much.
It's not even just every Titan fight. They actually use it for the maneuver gear too.
yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah, I did notice that as well. And then there was that one weird scene where they had like basically 2D PNGs like moving across the screen. That was fun.
Yeah,
But
XR moments.
I know. So yeah, that's like there's definitely some noticeable parts where it's like, they probably could have polished it up a little bit more there.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen any like cuts of animation where it's like, oh my god, this is literally like the god cut, like in some of the Levi scenes.
Oh my
in the
god,
earlier
like the
seasons.
season 3 part 1.
mhm.
That one was amazing. I feel like people probably give it like
Like it's not like if nobody told them that it was being animated by a
Right.
different studio, I feel like people wouldn't have been so critical
yeah.
and they wouldn't be watching out for stuff like that, and so it kind of would have.
And you know what?
flown under
What's
the
with
radar.
like, okay, obviously CGI, I can understand why people kind of like don't like it. Like, it's obviously like not as high quality as if it was like animated by hand instead of a computer and everything. And also sometimes sometimes depending on the context, it can like ruin the moment, like you're like fully immersed and everything is so smooth, and then all of a sudden you see like something like like a PNG on the screen or something, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Why is there a PNG moving on the horizontal x-axis 500 pixels? What is this? But like honestly, I don't think it's that like I've never there were obviously a few scenes that like stuck out more than others, but like it's never been so bad that I'm like, wow, this show is just
Yeah.
bad. It's like I literally
And
just can't. So the plot sucks.
People forget there were some parts of season 1, season 2, and season 3 that really did not look that pretty. Like in season 3, part 2, you probably don't even remember. The Colossal Titan was rendered in CG for a lot of it, and it was
Yeah.
even worse looking than it did in this season.
Hmm.
That
And
is
this season it
true.
looked pretty good. It was actually pretty good.
It's pretty alright.
Yeah, I thought that
Um,
was pretty good actually. Yeah, I agree.
And there was also something in season 3, part 1, where like there was, you don't even remember this, but like King Race turned himself into this massive titan that dragged himself along the ground.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we remember
okay,
that part.
Yeah, he was CG, and then when it like
Oh.
zoomed out to show him like crawling through the field field was full of like lowly like pixelated trees and like nothing else, and it was ugly.
Yeah.
So there was definitely
It's obviously just because they're like it's the whole like, oh my god, it's the last season, they can't mess it up, it better be amazing and all
Can't
that.
mess
And
this
plus
one
they're
up.
saying, oh, and it's a new studio
yeah.
Yeah, there's so
they're
much
being
pressure.
hypercritical.
Yeah.
for sure.
They're-
Like
they're-
double
and it-
standards.
I mean, when I was watching the earlier seasons, I never felt like I was taken out of the experience because of the animation.
Yeah.
And I feel like if like it weren't for the fact that people are being hypercritical for a new studio, they wouldn't be taken out of this one either.
And you know what? Season 3, Part 1 is pretty far down along the Attack on Titan, like, you've already watched like 40 episodes or something, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and before that Levi scene, there wasn't anything nearly that good. Like, there were some cool looking
I mean,
scenes,
there
obviously.
were still some good ones.
Yeah,
like even
there
in
were still
season
some good
1,
ones.
where the
Obviously, there were some
I
good
think
ones with the gliding, like with the, what is it called, maneuvers?
the
Yeah.
ODM gear.
Yeah, the
I think-
ODM gear
Yeah.
makes for some really cool scenes sometimes.
Yeah, that's the one thing that is not as good in this season right now.
Yeah.
Is like they don't have as many like really cool ODM cuts.
Yeah.
Like there was some pretty sick ones, like when Jean flies underneath the cart titan, shoots it with the
Yeah, that was cool. But it wasn't
Yeah.
as like epic, as like it would have been if it was animated with the amount of detail.
mhm.
It was still really cool though. It was good looking.
Yeah, and like the other thing that people fail to understand is that they simply didn't have the time
Yeah.
that they would have normally for many reasons. Like there's
Yeah.
the fact that like it was sort of handed off to Mappa almost last minute. They only had like less than a year to work on it, which is normally not enough for like the entire production cycle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the fact that the whole Corona thing was in the middle of all that,
True.
Yeah.
so it fucked them up there too.
That's why it was
So-
delayed, right? It was originally supposed to come out earlier, I
Fall,
think.
wasn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be fall.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like an October or like a September thing, but instead it was like middle of December or something.
I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, with all that delay and stuff, we're actually it's pretty good. Like
Considering
I
what
don't
we've
know.
gotten, we're kind of blessed that they were able to like whip out
to be
something
fair, right?
this good.
Like the story of Attack on Titan, all things aside, the story is really what keeps people coming back, right? We
Mhm.
really want to know what the fuck is happening, especially after that last season when we figured out everything about the basement and all that.
Mhm.
Like, you really want to know what the hell is gonna go down now that they have all this information. We've figured
Yeah.
out so many things. So
So
to be honest,
moving
even if
on
even if
from-
it was 8-bit, I probably would have still watched it.
8-bit Attack on Titan.
Yeah, just to know what happens, dude.
I'm gonna make an 8-bit Attack on Titan music remaster into the intro of this episode.
That'd be pretty cool.
Just play it through the whole podcast.
Yeah,
No, but like yeah, moving on to like the more plot related conversation.
yeah.
What do you guys think about that change from like more of an isolated war in just like the island to more of like a geopolitical thing across like an entire continent?
I think. Okay, so I have a lot of good things to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's one bad thing I want to say first, and since it's
Ooh.
the only one, I'm gonna say it first.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously it's been some time since the last season has come out, and it's been way longer since the first season and the second season came out. And so my memory of everything that's happened is kind of a bit scuffed. Now, to be fair, that's a me problem. Like when they
Yeah, I
make the
rewatched
show,
the-
when they make the show, they
Mhm.
shouldn't have to think, okay, well, let's make sure they remember every single detail from all the 60 episodes, right? Like, obviously that's not their job, but
Yeah.
I feel like the fact, because obviously they've done a lot of world building, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden the world is way bigger than it was in the first two seasons, and well, I guess like first 2.5 seasons, and we know the whole story of the universe, and now they're in the rest of the universe, and so all of a sudden there's so many more characters, there's so many more relationships, so many more like plot devices. I don't even know what that means, dude. I'm just saying it because I know it's true. And,
Yeah.
and basically it just got confusing in those first two
Really?
episodes. I remember we came out of those episodes and even like after discussing together, we weren't completely sure what the context of what we were watching was, right? Like,
I think they could have at least done like a little black screen that was like 4 years later, or
Right,
something like
right?
that.
Yeah,
Like,
they gave
at the
no
start of that
context that it
first
was
episode,
later in the story.
I thought that we were watching like especially since that blonde character Falco kind of looks like Reiner as if he was a kid or something.
Yeah,
I assumed it was a flashback.
same.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did, and so like I was kind of confused. Wait, what's going on? And then I realized, wait, no, this is obviously not. This is eventually you were able to figure it out that this is not a flashback, and then
Yeah.
and there's no familiar characters, and you're all learning who these people are for the first time, and it seems really confusing. And I actually spoke to one of my friends that told me that
Mhm.
they feel like it was a bit sleeper for the first few episodes. And to be fair, there
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
anything crazy
okay,
happening
yeah.
right now, right? Like
Yeah.
up until like the last 3 episodes, there really wasn't
Mhm.
anything too crazy happening. It was just a lot of suspense.
It wasn't telling you anything you didn't really already know.
Right.
It was just more of like a character development thing.
Yeah, it
because-
almost felt like a slice of life, except it's really suspenseful because something's gonna happen eventually.
Well, I think they
'Cause,
were
like,
trying
I
to build
guess-
up the worlds that we
Yeah.
were unfamiliar with at that point.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause,
they
like,
had
the-
to
the
set up the whole
entire-
Eldian thing and like the discrimination and the
Mhm.
history behind that as well, like through the characters. So
Because in my opinion, the emotional intrigue of like the point of the most recent of the final season
Yeah.
is setting up the war between two factions and not just having it be like a oh wow like all Titans are bad and it's
Yeah.
like blatantly painting the
Yep.
enemy as like a negative force.
Mhm.
It's more of like war is bad, both sides you have a reason to care for them,
Yeah.
and so it's just kind of a tragedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously,
I think now that we've seen a bit more, I'm happy with the first few episodes, I don't know.
retrospectively.
Yeah, I don't know what else they could have done, but like especially considering they were on such a a tight timeline. But like, yeah, I feel like at least
I mean, that's just the way it's written.
Yeah,
like,
I
that's
feel
just
like
the way the manga
at least
goes.
they could have said like 4 years later or something, just to
Give a bit of
avoid
context.
me having to like pause the episode and think or whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's like more of a you guys problem because I don't know, I don't remember ever thinking, gee, what's going on here? But
Really?
Well, the first episode
No,
when
I-
they were in the
first
middle of
episode
a
was confusing.
battlefield and they were like
Yeah, no, I
machine
was like-
guns and Titans fighting on the battlefield. And you're like, what is happening?
I was like, okay, these characters, they're obviously from not Parody Island because like they
Yeah.
have like the uniform and stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just like the base assumptions I made. I
Maybe
kind of just
maybe you
assumed
just made
that
the right assumptions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if there's like only 1/3 of our group who got it, maybe there's something they could have done better.
Yeah.
I guess.
Dude, literally, one of our friends literally thought that the kid was Falco until like that Falco was Reiner as a kid until like episode 4.
You never like, wait, what? But
Yeah,
Reiner shows
and
up like
then- and then
multiple
We were in a
times.
remember-
Discord call and I had to tell him, and he was like, "Wait, really?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, what is adult Aaron doing with kid Reiner? This doesn't make any sense."
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like-
Oh my god! And then and then we were watching like the second most recent episode
yeah.
where one of the warrior candidates got trampled on by the crowd,
Yeah.
and he was like, wait, who's that guy who just died? What?" And they're like, bruh, he literally spent. He's one of the warrior candidates, man.
We spent the last like 5 episodes with these kids, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
feel
one
like
that got crushed by, like, a stone,
obviously
though.
at a certain point it becomes on the individual who's watching. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but at least
I
for
mean,
that,
to be
I think
fair,
for that first episode, it made sense to be a bit confused.
yeah. To be fair though, those guys were kind of just death fodder to begin with. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I guess. I
Mhm.
mean, we knew that they weren't going to inherit the armor titan anyway, right?
Yeah.
And that was the
so,
only
one
which
that
means
was,
that
like,
their
immediately-
purpose in the story is just to die at that
Yeah.
point.
Well,
Yeah,
all except
especially
for
in
one
Attack on
character, I
Titan.
think.
Like in another show, maybe they would have lived, but like,
Yeah.
There's one character I think. Actually, no. The 2 characters I think are actually going to do something are Falco and whatever her name is.
Yeah. I think those two.
I don't remember
characters
what
are
her
gonna
name
be
is,
cool.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like
Like, they haven't died yet, so I think they might have some importance.
right?
kind of interesting to talk about. Who do you guys think is actually going to inherit the armored titan?
I don't think Aaron's going to get it. I feel
I
like
I don't think
it's not
Aaron's going
Aaron.
to get it.
It's not Aaron.
No, no,
But
no.
it's gonna be one of the 2 kids, right? Probably
yeah, I think it's going to be the
the girl, maybe.
maybe. I was thinking it was going to be the boy. They got like Falco.
Because
Falco was, like, really close
to
to
get it to
Reiner.
avoid the girl from getting it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I feel
But
like
then, like,
somehow he's gonna try that.
yeah, but then also right now aren't they kind of like running off on their own right now?
Yeah, they're
Are
trapped
they
inside of
together right now?
yeah, they're
Yeah, they're
both
together and
since
they're
birth.
calling for Reiner to do something, and then Reiner reappears and he looks like a Chad now.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
levels up his armor or something.
Dude,
I don't
that's
know.
so
Yeah.
cool. I wonder if like because obviously that's a buff, right? Like this guy's gotten buffed.
It's clearly
somehow. He has
supposed to be a
spikes on his
buff.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's him against Aaron because everyone else is out of commission.
But Aaron just got the Warhammer Titan, so I wonder how that's gonna
But
play
like
out.
when you eat a Titan, do you get the powers right away?
I don't know,
don't know.
man. I'm not a Titan. Like,
Yeah, like how's it gonna like? There's so many questions.
His eyeballs dilated though.
yeah, he was
so
like, I feel the
something
power or
happened.
something.
Okay, so the drugs kicked in immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just like that one show this season. We're gonna talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the end probably.
I'm also curious about how the Jaw Titan didn't end up getting like any of the blood at all. Like, you know, because
Yeah,
the
right?
Jaw Titan
'Cause
was
he
used to
ate it.
crush it. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
he
he's the
was
one who crushed
used.
it. How does none of it go in his mouth?
Yeah, I was like, I'm
Well,
surprised that he didn't get like
yeah, but
any
like,
of the.
he crushed it. He crushed it, but I
power.
guess he was like facing down, so it all fell into Aaron's mouth.
But there's still like other,
Maybe-
there's a lot of things. Maybe they've specified this and I just don't remember, right? But like, obviously you have to eat the person, right?
Yeah,
But like at that point, the person was like crushed and like you know the thing that
It
we
was the
saw was basically
blood.
just the blood, right?
yeah.
yeah.
So like,
And
is
I
it
guess
the
it makes sense
brain
because it's the
that
Titan blood that you're
needs to
trying to
be
get.
eaten? Well,
But-
is it the blood, or like do you need to eat a certain part, or
Yeah, maybe it's a certain
which
part.
is
Because if
it?
it's the blood, you could say, what if you split it 50-50, right? Do you get like half
Do,
the Titan?
do you both get the Titan power?
Or maybe it's an all or nothing type thing. But
I
then,
think you guys are being way too anal about this. I think, like, the
Yeah, because I
idea-
want to
the
know if
idea
the
is
Jaw
that
Titan
Aaron
can
just
summon
gets it.
Warhammers now.
we obviously know what happened, and we obviously can accept that, right? But just for fun, just like
Mhm.
we're not Mappa haters here, right? But just for the
Just
just for the
curious.
thought behind it, right? Like I
Mappa
wonder
haters be
how it
like,
actually hurts.
Wow, I
or
cannot
works.
believe they did not specifically note that the Jaw Titan got exactly 0% moles per liter volume of blood in his mouth,
Yeah.
and therefore it did not inherit any of the features associated with the
Yeah,
Warhammer Titan.
statistically, by Newton's third law, actually, the force of gravity would have made it so that the jaw and its momentum facing at a 90-degree angle vertically would have caused
If you
that the
apply
blood...
a Poisson distribution to the amount of blood that could have possibly landed in each
Seriously.
Titan's jaw,
That's actually what these Mappa haters sound like, dude. These guys are going and slandering the Mappa name, right? Over fucking little details like, actually, they should have played OST number 64.3
girl,
during the scene at 14 minutes, 26 seconds, and 43 milliseconds. Otherwise, I don't think this is actually worth watching. That's what they sound like.
dude, I see compilations on YouTube of people doing the Declaration of War scene, but with different Attack on Titan OSTs. It's like Declaration of War, but with 8 other OSTs from the show that would have been better. And it's like,
Damn,
dude,
dude.
Like, damn, that's crazy. I don't remember asking, but that's cool.
And you know what? The crazy thing is, like, there might be some truth to what they're saying too. I don't even remember what the OST. I don't even remember what OST was playing, or like what it
yeah,
even
but
sounded
it
like
was
at that
still
point.
hype as fuck.
Yeah, it was still
hype as fuck.
crazy. That's and like they still built cliffhangers. I bet those guys didn't watch the scene after the ending. That's probably what it was.
True.
Like it was
Yeah,
still
dude.
cool. I don't think it lacked anything.
Just because it didn't do like the classic, "Ba, ba, 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 ba."
Yeah.
they're like, fuck this, man. This isn't the right fucking show, man.
Yeah.
What am I even here
Have
for?
we heard that at all yet? I don't think we have.
I think
No?
we have actually.
Mm,
Oh,
we
really?
might have.
We might have, but
That
like I remember
that's so
something epic playing when the Colossal Titan literally nuked Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. They really had to do that.
Yeah, feel
Repeating
bad
history.
for my friend Armin there. It sounds like some PTSD. I don't know.
Yeah, Armin. What do you guys think about Armin? Because we just seen him again for like the first time since season 3.
I'm confused about one thing.
What?
In the episode where Aaron is talking to Reiner, right?
The
And this
soldier.
blonde guy, the blonde
Yeah.
soldier with a beard,
Yeah.
cuts the rope and like locks away the other Titans.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Because Armin doesn't have a beard. I swear to God, I thought that was Armin.
Yeah, I thought it was Armin too.
Yeah,
and
I thought
obviously
it was Armin
wasn't.
too, and it couldn't have been because he was
he has
out
no beard.
nuking in the ocean as
So
well.
there's still this random thing. It's kind of interesting because in the last seasons and throughout pretty much the entire show, our questions about things that weren't clear were very, very obvious. There were things that the people wanted us to question, like what's in the basement, right? What the fuck is going on? There's a lot of questions you could ask that were all obviously intended for us to be asking. But this case is kind of subtle because those guys escaped from the hole, and the soldier wasn't actually shown that much. I'm sure that a lot of people have forgotten about the soldier. You know, like right now, there's so much other shit happening that like the soldier is kind of an afterthought.
Literally
he
every
didn't really
single
do
Titan
much.
in the battlefield dying in less than 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that random ass soldier, like, I would like, yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it makes sense that someone might forget about that soldier that was kind of irrelevant, but also had something to do in like the third episode. But you're right. Who the fuck is this guy? Did they like?
I don't know.
He
They
could
hire
have just
someone?
been, he could have just been any one of the random like Parody Island people, because
True.
like they obviously have a lot more recruits. Like they showed a lot of people using the ODM gear that I've never seen before.
A lot of new characters that just
But like,
didn't
it
exist
felt like
before.
it would have mattered, right? Because the Cart
Yeah.
Titan was like, "Gee, I remember this guy,"
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
they
that's
made a
true.
whole
They
deal
did
about
hit.
it.
It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
you-
guy's familiar.
Hey, actually, now that I think about it, you actually have a point. Never mind. They actually did want you to ask this question. It's
They
gonna come
wanted you
back and
to
bite us
figure
here
out
at some
who it
point.
was.
Yeah, they definitely did want us to think that. Never
gonna-
mind. I retract my statement.
Yeah, I
I
have
just
no idea
forgot
who
about
could
that
have been
part.
either.
And she said it like twice too. It was like,
Yeah. And
Like,
obviously,
this guy behind me is
the
sus.
only real blonde guy that we can think of at this point is Armin. So
Or if they somehow
Yeah.
made like, actually no, Erwin doesn't even have
you
blonde
know
hair,
who
does
could
he?
have been? You know the Jaw Titan Pak or whatever. He has his brother that supposedly died, right? Well, he did die.
Okay, yeah.
What if he was blonde, wasn't he?
I
Yeah.
don't
What if
know.
he
I will
lived?
check.
And somehow the people at Parody Island found him or something, and then he joined the ranks. And so she said, "I recognize him because you trained with him. He was literally your guy, you know."
Tiber did say in that scene where he was in the cart talking to like Magath or whatever his name was.
Yeah, the commander.
Yeah, he was talking about how there's people on their side who are siding with the Parody Island.
Yeah,
so
so-
there's insiders.
So even if it's not that Pak brother, that Pak's guy's brother, it's definitely, I think, someone who's on the Marley side, but who's actually a double agent.
Marcel, I believe, has black hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Damn.
awkward.
Yeah, that's
His
awkward.
brother has blonde hair, right?
Yeah, Porco,
I mean, the
I
Jaw
can't
Titan
his
literally
name.
has.
Has blonde
Is it
hair, yeah.
Pak or Pak? What is it?
Apparently it's Porco.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And he has blonde hair, yeah. But his
Yeah.
brother has black hair.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, I still think there's got to be someone in the Marleyan side, because
Maybe.
there's got to be some traders, right?
Yeah. Well, someone who was like able to get access to the military uniforms and had
True.
and knew where to go and stuff like that.
Yeah. Another thing that was kind of like now an afterthought, but still kind of relevant, was like Dr. Jaeger, right?
He's
So
like dead.
well, yeah.
Isn't he?
Wait, is he dead? Did he die?
Aaron's father?
No. The
Oh,
the-
Aaron's grandfather.
Oh,
Aaron's
his
great-grandfather.
grandfather.
the guy, the doctor at the like insane slash
Mhm.
war
Yeah,
people
yeah.
asylum kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Yeah, he just went crazy.
Yeah, he's just a little
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, so like that's literally, so we literally had a scene where Aaron was sitting next to his great grandfather or grandfather.
I think it was his grandfather.
His grandfather, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like it was kind of random, to be honest.
Don't know why I was there. Might have significance.
like because
who knows?
he's like going crazy. He's like, I should have never let them go. I should have never let them go. Right?
Yeah, because Aaron was like, yeah, you know how you did this.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And it's like, damn. Was he talking about Aaron's dad and who?
Yeah, Aaron's
he was
dad
like,
and like his
There,
sister
I'm sure you
somewhere.
have some things you regret about your own family, huh?
Yeah.
And he's like, then he just went fucking insane.
Just went crazy and listed off like everything.
But like, what's the story? Like he let Aaron's dad and his aunt that
Oh,
Was
this
his-
is like this was what happened. Like when we had the basement reveal.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like, for me, it's a faint memory right now.
Basically, yeah, Aaron's dad and his sister went out to go see this blimp,
Yeah.
but they went outside of the area that they were allowed to go to because they're Eldians.
Yeah.
And then the sister got eaten by dogs by
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the police guys who was just like,
Yeah, that was in
you
the
know?
very first episode of the basement reveal flashback.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
now. Yeah, they were kids.
And Yeah, and now like his dad has regrets because like he's like, oh, I shouldn't have like been so hard on like training him to be a doctor. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
he wanted the freedom.
Oh
And like
yeah.
actually, if you remember, that kind of runs in the family because Aaron's dad, Grisha Jaeger,
Yeah.
was trying really hard for his son to be the next leader of the Eldian Restorationists,
Yeah, and like
which
to give him the
caused
founding titan
him
and everything.
which caused him to actually just like leak them and get them hashtag exposed.
Yeah, that was
And then,
crazy.
and now he's the Beast Titan.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if it's some sort of foreshadowing for Aaron. Like Aaron is pushing too hard to.
Well, yeah, because like the biggest question is that we don't know why they actually declared the war.
Well,
Like, no,
we
we don't know
know.
why they declared the war. They don't know why Paradise Island preemptively attacked the
Well, if you
continent.
think about, here's what we do know, right? We know that Aaron and the rest of his squad are not on the exact same page.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
Aaron
because
went off on his own and decided to do
Yeah.
this, and they had to go rescue him because he has the founding titan.
Yeah, like Mikasa was like, "You really fucking did it, huh? You killed the kids."
It's like, huh, you really just killed those people, didn't you?
You really
And then
just
he's
pulled
like-
a terrorist attack, huh?
He's like, "Bitch, go do something for me. Be useful." And we never got anything else from
Yeah,
that.
he
She's
was
like,
literally
"Okay, 'cause
like,
I simp
that
for you,
was
haha."
Yeah, basically.
literally she sims for him, goddamn.
Dude, it's kind of crazy though, because like, you know, we had the conversation between Aaron and Reiner, and like all of Reiner's like depressing and I don't want to live anymore feelings aside, right?
Mhm.
Like, Aaron and Reiner both made it clear, right, that like the war that's about to start and that has now started is like
Yeah.
is not actually because they want to fight, and it's not actually to like, you know, to actually like accomplish anything. It's more so just because that's the only thing that they can do because they're enemies and they just have to fight because there's no other choice.
Like basically, Marley is like, wow, they have the founding Titan. They could
Yeah.
basically just like commence the rumbling or whatever
Right.
and have Titan stomp out the world, and
Yeah,
they're too afraid.
Because nothing Parody
let them
Island
have that
could do,
power.
nothing Parody Island could do could make Marley stop from attacking them, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, revenge isn't really even in the picture anymore. Like, well, it is for like the Marleyan kids and stuff, obviously, because they just got literally rolled. But like, for the Parody Island people, they don't care about getting back at like Reiner and Bertholdt and all the other people, right?
Well,
Like,
At least not Aaron.
at least
There
not
was,
Aaron.
like,
Yeah,
like the flock guy was
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
fuck these guys.
he's like the orange / pink haired guy, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, with a weird haircut.
Yeah, Jean was talking to him, and then
Yeah.
Jean was like, yo, keep civilian casualties a minimum. And Flock's like, fuck them civilians, man. Do you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
they did to us?
But he's a
True.
fresh. Well, he's not really fresh anymore. 'Cause it's been 4 years, but he's relatively fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. At least for Aaron, Aaron doesn't care anymore. Aaron
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
want. Aaron doesn't want to kill everyone. Aaron doesn't really know he wants, to be honest. He just doesn't want him and all his friends to have to die, and for his home to be wrecked even further, and for everything to just be bad. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like the logical option is to strike
Yeah.
first because I guess it gives them an advantage.
Yeah,
Strike
'cause
first and, like,
if you
try
know that
to-
your enemy is gonna come kill you, then you may as well just try and kill them first.
True. Like he basically his entire goal, I think, was to attack where he knew all the warriors would be, and then he
Yeah.
would try and absorb all the other titans. I think that was his
Yeah.
goal.
Because, you know what, to be honest, even if they got on that blimp right now and just got out somehow,
Mm-hmm.
even with the Armored Titan and the Jaw Titan still there, and maybe the Beast Titan is dead, but we're not sure.
I feel like he's
And-
kind of
Sure.
dead, but they
Whatever.
didn't show
Like
him
basically what I'm saying is that even just without the Warhammer Titan and minus all those troops and casualties,
Mm-hmm.
that's still a big dub, you know? Like, obviously they can't pull a siege like this every fucking day, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to try and do as much as they can right now so that if they ever have to go like actual prepared battle that's actually fair and not like a surprise attack, that reduces like their troops. But like even right now, that's not bad, you know? Like from a tactical perspective, they've already eliminated at least one Titan and maybe more. And then,
Yeah.
and then they've destroyed like the whole fucking city, all of their naval troops, at least the ones that were there. Like so many civilians and and soldiers, like foot soldiers and stuff, the ranks are probably completely destroyed. You know, there's so literally the leader of the country is just dead. So
True.
even if they just like dipped right now and just got out on the blimp, it
They
would
did
set
a
up for
lot.
like a pretty well. I don't know if it would be even, but it would at least make their situation a lot better in terms of like an actual war where people are prepared to fight.
Yeah, they also like
I'm just
nuked the
wondering,
navy too, so like
That's true.
Yeah.
The Navy is
they'd
Maybe
have to
like
rebuild
that.
it before they get attacked. So
The only difference though is that Marley is now allied with like all the other countries because they like literally just rolled all the other countries into alliances, right?
yeah,
yeah.
So
somehow they did that.
and so obviously now those guys are all on the same team. At least that's what it looks like.
Mhm.
And so now like pretty much it's actually us against the world for Aaron and the squad, right?
Yeah,
Like sure the Marleyan soldiers were there and everything, but you know you still got all these other powers that maybe weren't as powerful as Marley because Marley ruled them, but like they're still there and they still probably have lots of soldiers and their own navies and whatever, right?
yeah, and they've been making like anti-Titan weapons too. If you remember,
That
like that
too.
train that existed at
Yeah.
the first episode.
Yeah, and that's not a Marleyan thing. That was like the Arab guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering though, like, what's the end game for these guys? Like, what
Yeah.
what
What's the
defines
end
victory?
game for
Like,
everyone?
because even if they kill, like let's say
they can absorb all the Titans, right?
yeah,
And then
you
I
still
guess
have
nobody else-
You still have anti-Titan like weaponry. I guess if you absorb all the Titans though, you're basically just God, right?
yeah.
Well,
just
yeah,
won,
I guess so. Like if you have the Colossal Titan, anti-Titan weapons can't do anything because like you literally just like
You're just
nuke
too
a whole
big.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like once they have every single Titan, then the entire rest of the world has motivation to stop them because they have literally all the power.
But like, what are they gonna
True.
do? They literally have no Titans.
True.
if you think about it, the only reason like anti-Titan weaponry is good and all, but with all the Titans, you can still beat anti-Titan weaponry. One Titan can beat anti-Titan weaponry given the right situation.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking like as soon as they get all the Titans, I don't know what they're gonna
Well,
do after that. But
wasn't
like,
the point like I remember in the first episode, they were talking, or maybe there was a second episode, but they were talking in a round table,
mhm.
and they're like, the world is advancing, and soon enough, Titans will no longer be enough power to
Ti-
remain
Tit-
at the seat of the world.
Titans are not
Mhm.
gonna scale to late game.
Yeah, basically.
Literally.
basically.
Maybe
Like
maybe
eventually,
what maybe
people
the
will
plan,
develop nuclear bombs. People will like.
the whole problem though is right is that like as long as the Titans exist, you can fight over the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like even if Aaron gets every single Titan, if he just like goes back home and now chills with like with all the Titans in him, or
If
like
he
all
dies,
the
then his
Titans
Titans get distributed
if he-
out. So
in literally a
Mhm.
few years later, they're just gonna redistribute.
yeah. So
And-
like,
and,
is
like,
there even
he
an
can,
end
he
game
can
with the
pull another
Titans?
Rod Reese where like he just he makes us like a vow to peace, and then
Yeah.
that gets inherited over time, but with all the Titans.
Well, what I was thinking is like maybe if you
Hmm.
have all the Titans, there's like a special power with the founding Titan that you can do now, and just destroy all of them at once and kill yourself or something.
Maybe. That's kind of. It's kind of like the plot of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like you gather them all up and then you destroy them.
It's a recurring theme, dude. But yeah, like, because
Oh,
like I
man.
don't know what are they gonna do, right? Like ultimately, the entire existence of the Titans means that there will always be war over Titans, even with like some sort of peace thing, right? Like I feel like there's never gonna be some sort of resolution, right? It's the same as real life, dude. You can never stop any kind of conflict, like every kind of conflict. Sorry, right?
True.
There's
Mhm.
always going to be some sort of politics, some sort of war, some sort like there's always something. It
As
doesn't
long as
matter
the
what.
resource is going to be fought over.
Yeah, as long yeah, even it doesn't matter if you're all in the same country. It doesn't because that will cause civil war. It doesn't matter if you're all united or all split up. As long as the Titans exist, there will be war over the Titans. And there's obviously gonna be
Mhm.
other types of war too, but the war of the Titans is what we care about.
I think the end goal is that if one country has all Titans, then there will be no war over the Titans because they like anyone who tried to would just lose.
Yeah, but like that would only last what 13 years max.
You know, yeah, it's only going to last long enough until either they make someone inherit all the Titans at once, you know, just have them eat the person who has all the Titans,
Yeah, I
or
guess.
until they just die and the
Yeah,
Titans get redistributed.
Cooper did mention like a peace like thing passed down, right?
Mhm.
And I guess you could kind of like do something like that where it's like you have one guy that just contains all the Titans and then they're passed down, but it's like a peaceful thing, and it's like
Mhm.
just like, yeah, you just contain the Titans and you die in 13 years and it sucks. So every 13 years you just have a sacrifice to like a god or something. And it's like, all right, no war, guys, because we kill someone every 13 years.
I think there's one final option that no one really wants to bring up, but if you consider the fact that I believe only Eldians can become Titan
True.
warriors.
Just kill all the Eldians.
If you killed all the Eldians, would there ever be Titans?
You're right, actually.
Eldian, the show ends with complete Eldian genocide.
That's
The
I'm
island
wondering
The
actually.
island gets nuked
Okay.
by the Arabs, and
Listen.
then
I do not condone genocide, right? But like, that's
But-
probably actually the best move.
I'm thinking like in the story, that's probably what they're going to do if they wanted like a lasting solution.
Listen, all I'm saying is that if I was from one of the other countries, or I was not an Eldian, basically, I'd probably want all the Eldians to die. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that genocide's good, but I'm saying that if I
With
that
no-
if I was one of those characters, I'd probably want all the Eldians to die.
With no connection to real life circumstances.
Yeah, with no
Within the
connection to
plot, it's
real
probably
historical
what
events
they would
that
want
took
to
place
do.
in the year 1945. With literally no connection. All I'm saying is that just given the circumstances, that's actually probably the best course of action if there's no magic, cool Titan things that can happen and make it peacefully resolved.
Yeah, because then if there are no Eldians, there can be no Titan warriors.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah, so
I swear I'm not a fascist.
it's unfortunate for the plot, but
yeah, but
we'll
I
just
mean,
see what they do with
with
it.
all like this this tension in the air. It's gonna be really exciting to see what happens. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Attack on
Mhm.
Titan does a really good job of making you have no idea and just like you might be able to predict things in the short term, like, oh, this guy kind of looks like Aaron, but that's because they wanted you to know that.
Yeah,
They'll never.
I'm just glad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we're now beyond like the phase of the mystery show where like we're always questioning things, and now
Yeah.
it's just straight up beef now.
It's
we're
straight up
in
action
time
the
to-
action.
and juice and sick ass fucking plot development.
The amount of juice that happened in the most recent episode.
Dude, the last 2 episodes in themselves could have been in a movie. Like you could have spread that into a 1 hour and 30-minute movie.
If they made like including the next episode, if they they include that, absolutely, I think so as well.
Seriously. And they could have
It's
paced it
crazy.
out and like actually made it good. Like that's a crazy thing.
Like in like literally one flash, it was like boom, the port gets fucking nuked.
We went from
Gabby and what's his face, Falco, are literally horrified. They're
the only
traumatized.
kids left alive in the entire city.
Yeah. Then boom, Levi literally one shot no scopes the Beast Titan and grenades his
God.
ass.
Literally just
Boom.
And,
he's
and
gone.
after the events of
Point
season 3
blank
part
nukes
2
him.
where like he literally killed like his best friend basically.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
that's
It was
so impactful. It's like, "Oh my god, let's
He's like,
fucking
"Bu-
go, Levi."
literally boxed like a fish.
Yeah.
No PR.
Literally.
He just he didn't even have a chance.
I'd be
not even a
surprised if
chance.
he's
all
alive.
this, right? All this at the same time, you kind of sympathize with like the Marlians, right? And the Eldians. Like you know, like
Well,
Yeah, because they're
to be
getting
fair-
literally terror bombed at that point.
yeah,
the-
because like
the
right
Mar-
now what's going on is actually just a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
But the Marlians, I mean, actually, it's kind of sad if you think about it. They're literally like they're pretty much enslaving and doing terrible war crimes against the Eldian people, right?
Oh yeah. hmm
But at the same time, in order to like fight against this, you have to fight the Eldian people because they're the only people who can inherit the Titans, and so they're the war
It's
force.
so complicated because you have your own Eldians that are your war force, like literally your most powerful weapon,
Mhm.
and then you also have the other Eldians that are bad. But then you also
Yeah, but you're
don't
trying
like
to
your-
free them. But
Yeah.
in order to free them, you have to kill them.
Yeah, and then after that, you got to also deal with the Eldians that are fighting for you right now. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
but,
The
like,
power
it's so
dynamic doesn't actually like
complicated.
it's so complicated.
But yeah, and then okay, but like after that, the Beast Titan just dies, right? As far as we know, maybe
Yeah,
not. And then
maybe.
the Cart Titan gets like blasted.
Yeah, out of
just
commission.
bombed. Yeah, just like sorry, bud, you're
Yeah,
done.
you're done. Just done.
You're just a bronze shitter. Just get out.
Yeah.
And then boom, there's nothing. Nobody. And then, oh yeah, and then the Jaw Titan gets.
You got like
Literally, like,
slammed
Dude,
into the
the Jaw
ground.
Titan becomes a fucking nutcracker.
Yeah, he's just like objectified to like the nth degree. The Warhammer Titan. There's no more Warhammer Titan.
Yeah, the Warhammer
The
Titan
Warhammer
is
Titan
literally
gone.
eaten. Is literally a meal, dude. It's actually a dinner.
Whole snack.
Yeah, holy shit.
Go on.
It's just like,
All in like half an episode. It was
yeah,
crazy.
this is all in like 15 minutes.
Ugh.
I just
Somehow
love that at
Peak
the same
survived as
time.
well.
I'm like, damn, I still like Falco though.
I
'Cause-
don't really care
'cause,
about
like-
Falco. Not gonna lie.
And it's crazy too, right? Because like all after everything we said, like
They
we saw-
they witnessed all this. So they were
you
literally
have to think
standing
about, like,
right
this
there.
This is like they've seen some shit. They've fought in a war before, at least that one at the start, maybe more. But like,
yeah.
but like they've never seen anything quite like this. And also, you got to remember that like ultimately, most of the people that were affected by this are just random civilians that have nothing to do with the politics whatsoever, right? They're just as innocent as the people who got raided in Parody Island in the first episode of season 1.
True.
Like, there's no difference in their innocence whatsoever.
And all
So-
of them are Eldians too, because they did the announcement in an Eldian district to make sure
Yeah.
no Marlians were killed, because they knew this was gonna happen.
So pretty much what I'm trying to say is that, like, at the end of the day, the people are, just like in normal war, the people who are suffering the most, well, actually, I don't want to say that, but
Are civilians?
just like in a normal war, the civilians are suffering a lot too. And
Okay, yeah.
and in this specific case, maybe more than the actual fighters, because there are way more civilians than fighters.
Yeah, you got like what, 8 fighters? Well, no, you got like the whole squads. You have the
You got
army
the
on each
Titans,
side,
and
but
then all the soldiers and stuff, right?
yeah,
And obviously there are a lot of
I'm
soldiers.
I'm starting to see a parallel between like Gabby and Aaron in the first season. where,
Yeah.
like they basically saw their entire life ripped away from them.
You're right.
true. Yeah, what
You
if
know
they
what?
continued
Gabby
Attack on
is
Titan?
fighting blindly in rage like Aaron did in the
Mhm.
first couple of seasons.
That's true. Yeah,
I miss young Aaron, dude.
the dude used to be so like hopeful and like
Yeah.
he used to be
He
happy,
didn't
and then
know what he had coming for him, dude.
now Aaron is just depressed and wants nothing but to like kill a bunch of people. And man,
Yeah, it's just so sad. I just love this show, dude. Every little thing that you realize, whether intentional or not, dude, it doesn't matter. It's just so well built. This show's just built entirely different.
that is facts.
And I've heard that if we just keep waiting for these episodes to come out, there's gonna be like literally like crier moments. Like we're gonna
Wow.
cry.
Damn. Okay. I'm
According to
looking forward
manga
it.
readers.
Yeah.
So-
According to
the
manga
manga
readers.
readers.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
Eldians,
who knows? Maybe-
the
maybe-
Eldians of
maybe
the anime community, the manga readers.
Mappa maybe Mappa will fuck it up. And we'll be just crying about how bad the animation is, but
Aaron dies in CGI.
oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
Levi actually dies, but it's 8-bit. And the OST is the wrong one, and the frames are negative per second, and just
And it's animated like the last episode of like Evangelion, like the original one.
yeah, literally just everything is wrong with it. That's what the Mappa haters want to see, so it's fuel for their fire.
They're enjoying
But,
hating the show more than they are actually watching the show.
hey, you know what? It's part of the game. As long as they're enjoying something.
Whatever you say, man.
All right, man. Sure.
Just kidding. Fuck the Mappa haters. Fuck you.
Dude, I'm on the most recent episode, literally like less than like 5 minutes after it came out on Crunchyroll. There was the first comment was like, guys, we need to stop hating on Mappa. They actually tried so hard.
Hey, that's wholesome.
like-
So they're right.
Yeah.
They did try so hard. I mean, I gotta hand it to them. Even though, like, sure, CGI is kind of jarring. I like the way that they made it look. How do I even say this? Like, they made it look more 2D, even though it was still noticeably CGI. That's like there's a specific tactic you can use with like cell shading on 3D models to achieve that.
Oh wow.
And I really like how they managed to do that, so it's less jarring. Like, I found myself actively hating it less than I would most CGI.
Yeah, there were. I can only think of like 2 scenes right now so far that I really felt like, oh man, that was not that good. But like even those again didn't ruin the experience.
Mhm.
And they didn't. Okay, let's put it this way. For me, they didn't negatively impact the experience. They just didn't enhance it.
Yeah, true.
It's more so a missed opportunity because we know that it could have been some sick ass Levi ODM gear scene from season 3 part 1. And it could have been better, but it doesn't mean that it was bad. It didn't make it worse.
Yeah, I think people are just like comparing it a lot to seasons which took a long time for the previous studio to
You gotta
make.
remember that we waited like what 5 years for season 2, and season 2
Yeah.
wasn't even
Yep.
that crazy.
We didn't even know if there was gonna be a season 2. That's how long it took.
Yeah, like, do you remember when season 2 came out? A lot of people just didn't care anymore. They're like, yeah, this shit's bad.
There was like, yeah, a little too late.
I
No one cares about
I
Attack on
watched
Titan
season
anymore.
1 before season 2 existed, and then when season 2 came out, I watched the first episode on the day it came out, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, come back to this later. And I didn't watch
I
season
watched
2
the first
for
episode.
4 years.
I watched the first episode of season 2 the day it aired in Japan in Japanese,
Oh shit.
Okay.
and I was like, "Damn, I just don't care."
Yeah, exactly.
Even then, you were like,
Maybe
damn.
it's because I didn't
okay.
really understand what was going on, but
It's
Yeah,
also been 5
now
years.
we're
so
like,
it's- yeah.
we're like, ah, Mappa, you fucked it up, man. Oh my god. Like, there has been worse. Obviously, season 2 ended up being great, and it was just a retrospect thing or a hindsight thing or whatever. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, my point is just like, this literally isn't bad. This is really good.
just go watch X-Harm if you want to cry or something.
Yeah, if you're gonna cry, just go watch X-Arm. Go watch Redo of Healer. I'm sure you'll have a fun time. Actually, you won't. But
Yeah, no, you will not.
yeah, you won't. But
There are
but
no
yeah.
fun times to be had with that last one.
Yeah, no. Okay, well, do you guys want to move on to that then? It's been a good 45 minutes of Attack on Titan.
Sure,
Mhm.
but like, do we want
we?
to talk
Yeah.
about Redo of Healer? Because like, there's not a lot you can talk about and get away with on YouTube.
For just to let the viewers or the listeners know, we are planning to maybe do an episode where we go over the seasonals again,
Again, yeah.
just because well, first of all,
Classic Jujutsu Kaisen episode.
yeah, the classic Jujutsu Kaisen
The
episode where we
Jujutsu
talk about the
Kaisen
second core
episode.
of the show. No, but well, there's a few reasons why we want to do that. One is just because it's good to talk about it as we get closer to the end of the winter season. Because right now we're about halfway through. Well, actually, no, we're still at the start. But yeah, as we get closer to the halfway point and further in, it's gonna be nice to talk about the shows and how they've developed, and kind of like in contrast to what we thought we were gonna watch and all that. But then also because it seems like people like those based on like the viewership and like the interactivity in like comments and stuff. The episodes where we talk
Mhm.
about seasonals and like kind of like the big shows and stuff seem to be the ones that do the best, which makes sense. So I think that's probably the one the things that most people watch without actually commenting, because we're still a small enough podcast that
Mhm.
we don't get that many users telling us what they like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just watching this and you're just vibing, feel free. Like, literally, don't be afraid just to slap a comment down, even if it's just like, "I hate you. Your podcast sucks." Like, thanks for saying something, man. Like,
Write a 1,000-word
Yeah.
essay on why our podcast is terrible.
Yeah, like I think I said it on the past episode, but on our Twitter, which I'll plug at the end of the episode, is like I get DMs sometimes from like other podcasts, and that's pretty sick. Like it's kind of nice to talk to other like people in the same community, and our show is like, I don't want to say it's like very unique, but like I feel like a lot of the podcasts in the anime podcast like community are all pretty different actually.
Mhm.
Like they all have their own like quirks and twists, and then you got Trash Taste on the top, reigning above everyone else. Let's go.
Looking down on us
Um,
peasants.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just kind of cool. Like I'm talking to people all the time on Twitter, on the messages. Our DMs are open, comments, DMs, whatever. Like if you guys want to reach out, no matter where you're listening, if you want to do that, that's sick. But yeah, anyway, Redo of Healer is a
think
show.
I think I can safely like not recommend it.
Yeah.
I think
more
I
than
could
safely.
say, yeah, I think I could say, I wouldn't recommend anyone watching it, especially if you're like, if you've had like traumatic experiences in the past. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
show is like,
Trigger
it's
warning.
kind of messed up, like really, really messed up.
Yeah. I mean, it is hentai, right? Like that actually just is hentai.
I mean, kind of, but also it's not classified as it. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
gue-
on
I guess
that
it's not.
Ishizoku
Isn't
kind of level.
show like full nudity, right? Or
Yeah,
maybe
well,
It's kind of like
it
you know how,
kind
like
of
okay,
does.
so maybe this will help some people understand. So you might be like every now and then you'll be looking through Crunchyroll during the seasons, and you'll notice this one show that's just like basically like borderline hentai, right?
Yeah.
And it's always like something really. It's usually a fantasy world, and it's usually some main character that you just don't care about, and then there's just a lot of women.
it's like
and
Yeah.
it's
different
like that.
scenarios.
It's like borderline hentai, but if it was all the wrong tags
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
just didn't want to click on.
That is the best way to describe it. If it's everything you didn't want to watch, yeah.
Basically, yeah. Take everything that sucks about anime and just put it in a show.
Well,
Well-
other than like, I just don't like the plot. That's all I can say. Like, I don't care about the sound quality
It's
or the
just
voice
so
acting
weird.
or
Yeah,
the.
obviously, I'm not judging this
visuals.
through the lens of like, yeah, well, the pacing is actually really good. And, you know, I'm
No,
not looking at
you're
it like
not
that.
noticing the pacing when you're
That's not-
witnessing
yeah.
the story. Like,
That's obviously not what you're meant to notice.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there is copious amounts of in gamer speak R4PE basically throughout the entire show.
yeah. Let's
and
let's
it
just
makes
leave
it
with that.
really hard to watch. So
Yeah.
and lots
and
of lots of
us and the
uncomfortable
entire
situations.
squad of the boys were like, damn, let's watch seasonals together in the Discord. And we put this bad boy on and saw a whole full 2 episodes.
Yeah, before
and,
we were like, okay, I think we go next.
Yeah.
We're basically
Not this one,
traumatized,
no.
and that's probably the reason we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
You gotta let out the trauma. It's like a therapy session.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Like, all jokes aside, like, definitely. I don't want to recommend that. I'm sure there's some people that will like that. You're weird, and
Please, if you
and,
value
yeah.
your sanity,
yeah,
don't
please,
watch it. But if you don't, go ahead and experience that kind of cancer yourself.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely a hard no from us.
Yeah, no.
We mainly
Mhm.
we mainly want to bring that up just at the end of the episode because it was something kind of funny that we were watching lately. I know that Joey the by funny I don't mean
Not like
yeah,
humorous,
yeah,
but
you know what I mean. I meant like
odd.
interesting / like odd / talk worthy. But yeah,
Mhm.
I know that Joey the anime man made a tweet about it, and he was like, what did he say? He said something about the fact that, like, it went from like a classic like fantasy borderline hentai show to just like, what the fuck, dude?
to like, yeah.
Because the first episode, like, all things considered, the first things episode wasn't actually, it was weird, but like it wasn't like red flags everywhere, you know?
I mean,
Mhm.
like, I've seen literal hentai tamer than this. Like,
Yeah, like it had the legendary sex scene
but
at
like,
the end.
it wasn't that
So the
legendary.
boys
man.
were
Like,
getting,
oh,
like,
God.
Yeah,
Hyped, but like
sure.
but,
And
like,
then,
not
and then the
really.
second episode is just like, all right, well, we're good. We're
yeah, no, this is
No
not as
thanks.
legendary as we thought it originally.
yeah. I'm pretty happy though because there's a lot of other seasonals.
Yeah, there are a lot
to-
of better things to watch
yeah,
this season.
actually good shows.
So many of them.
I don't
So
want
many
us.
of them.
Oh my god, I really want us to like save like as much as we can for the inevitable season recap and like what are we watching kind of episode that we do eventually in the next few weeks.
Mhm.
Let's do
But-
it then, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what we can say right now that like won't spoil too much about for that episode. It's just kind of like, oh my god, there's so much to watch. Basically, guys,
We
if
can give some
you-
recommendations.
if you aren't watching too many seasonals right now, other than the mainstream ones, well, first of all, I would recommend watching the mainstream ones. The mainstream ones are great, and they are all so far, delivering on, what we wanted to see: Doctor Stone, Attack on Titan, quintessential quintuplets, Log Horizon. Even like, there's so many. I probably missed a bunch.
Promised Neverland.
Promised
there you
Neverland,
go.
of course.
Beastars.
Like, there's so much, dude, to talk about. And I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. But yeah, right now, if I'm just gonna say this because we don't have too much time left before we end the episode, so I'll just say this so we don't get into anything too big. All I'm saying is my top 3 non-mainstream shows of the season before we wrap up.
Okay.
One, well, okay, this is not in any particular order, but one is Jobless, which is how do you say that, Cooper? I think you know the name in Japanese.
Mushoku Tensei.
That one, Jobless Reincarnation. It's kind of weird sometimes. It has some scenes that are kind of questionable, but it's kind of like that classic isekai with a twist, and it's actually good animation, and the plot is pretty decent so far, I guess. It's just interesting. I enjoy it. It's a fun thing to watch in the middle of the week.
It's
Or is
also
it on
pretty well
Sundays, actually?
animated, so
I think it's
Sundays,
on
yeah.
Sundays.
Yeah, I think that's
so at
Sundays.
the end of the week, actually.
mhm.
The second thing is Wonder Egg Priority.
Absolute
show-
banger.
Yeah,
Not
that
gonna
show
lie.
is an absolute banger. We can talk about a lot more about it later because we did mention this. So for context, in our seasonal episode, I think it was like episode 4 or something, episode 5 maybe. It was called the Winter 2021 season is insane, something like that. We went through my anime list during the episode, and we basically broke down what we thought was going to be worth watching, what we were really excited for, things that looked promising, and one of those things was Wonder Egg Priority. Right at the end of the episode, I think,
Yep.
or at some point in the middle,
We called it, guys.
we
Yeah,
called it. We
because
said,
there was no
"There's
description,
this
but it looked
show, yeah, there was
interesting.
no description. We had no idea what it was about. We were like, this kind of looks cool though, and the animation style, like the drawing style of the cover art, looks pretty cool as well. It looks like it's gonna be a
Mhm.
fun show, and it's not at all what I expected it was gonna be so far.
Yeah, no.
But it's
I don't even
so
know how to
good.
describe it. I think it's going to be like an emotional masterpiece of a story, to be honest.
Yeah, like you know what? It kind of reminds me of like so far, it kind of feels like it might be as powerful as something like that anime about the girls that want to write manga or was it make anime? I don't know. It's like,
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, make anime. Yeah.
You do know what I'm showing? It's like the girl with the hat or whatever, and then her taller friend, and I think Giga
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about it in
yeah,
his most
yeah, yeah,
Aizuken,
yeah.
something Aizuken.
Yeah, Azoken.
That show, it kind of obviously it's very different from that, but like in the way where it's just like a bunch of like young girls like figuring out their lives, but like in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Wonder Egg Priority is very different from that in
Yeah.
how weird it is. But like, yeah, all I'm trying to say is that I think it could be a real emotional masterpiece. Yes, I'm seconding what Carter said.
Yeah.
It's just so and I really like the main character too. She's just adorable and cool, and yeah,
I really like the main character as well, yeah.
yeah. And then the third show for me was Horimiya. Horimiya, I don't think either of you have seen it yet.
No,
Nope.
not yet.
It's a romance slice of life, I think. And okay, I mean, romance is great and all. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I don't know, something about it is just kind of wholesome. It's wholesome, and emotions are stirring, and it just kind of it reminds you a bit of your high school days, maybe a bit, and you're just like, damn, this is good. It's not like crazy or anything like that, right? But like definitely a really good romance so far. And I could definitely see it. The pacing feels a bit off, I have to say, but because they're kind of moving quick in like the romance point of view. Like usually, for example, like a confession, right? You usually get shit like that, like
Last episode or something, and
last
then you get
episode,
second
maybe halfway
season.
through, depending on like what the show's doing. Bro,
Mhm.
episode 3 came out, and we already got like a low key confession.
Okay.
It wasn't like the drama build up, big juicer kiss confession, but like it was a confession. So yeah.
So
Anyway,
speed running it.
they're speed running love basically. 80%
Any percent speed run. God, That's
but
cringe.
yeah, it's a cool show. It has good vibes. The animation at first felt a bit weird, but then it kind of grew on me, and I actually really like it. Yeah, those are my top 3 shows right now. That's a sneak peek. I'm not going to talk too much more about them because I don't want to spoil that show for you guys, one, and also just make our upcoming episode any less juicy, because that's going to be a big juicer.
Mhm.
But yeah, anything else
That's
you
all
guys
I'm
want
gonna say.
Okay. Anything from you, Carter?
No, not really.
Poggers.
Okay.
Without further ado, I'll wrap up. So thank you guys for listening or watching, whatever platform you're on. If you liked, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike.
Yes, sir.
Like Cooper mentioned earlier, we are seriously up for any type of feedback. Like, you can literally like roast the shit out of our personalities, and and be like, dude, honestly, your show just sucks. You're not because the structure is bad, or maybe actually it is that too, but also your personality sucks. And honestly, I just hate
Yep,
you.
personalities
You
are
should probably
terrible.
just die.
Yep.
So basically, let's see if we can get this episode to 10 dislikes.
Yeah.
If
If we get 10
if we can
dislikes,
get-
I will watch a redo of Healer episode 3.
Oh god. If we get 40
'Cause I'll hate
dislikes, I'll
myself
watch
that
all of
much.
X-Arm. Let's go.
But yeah, for real, guys, like, we're looking for as much viewer interaction as we can. So yeah, if you want to, definitely do that. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Main one is Twitter. It's at real_talk_anime. We also have Instagram, a bit less active, but I'll see your message if you message me there. At Real Talk Anime. And we'll see you for the next one. thanks for being here.
See ya.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.